I look like an almond that knows state secrets. I'm so sick and tired of hot people getting famous for simply being hot, while I have to shuck and jive for all of my meals. God, I'm so bitter. This is the consequence of keeping your original nose. I love American chain restaurants, those carb-filled gulags, the ultimate suburban purgatory. The bar is filled with nothing but cougars and blue-collar functional alcoholics. I cannot wait until I am a divorcee, scouring the bars for some young meat. I'd lean into it too. I would find a fresh-faced guy that just looks like he doesn't have a mortgage or any responsibilities. Then I'd lean in and whisper, "Hey, you want to see my C-section scar?" But then I'd be unable to go through with it because he would remind me too much of my son. Then I'd just cry alone in my Kia Sorrento, a modern-day American tragedy. I am not morally against people using my images to catfish. I'm not going to encourage people to do it. However, if someone was using my photos to catfish another person, I'm not going to lie, I'd be kind of flattered. This concealer is in the shade Drake's Baby Mama. I'm going to be back on my light skin nonsense this summer. Sometimes I see what my people are doing. And by my people, I do mean my fellow melanatedly challenged folk. Filming thirst traps, setting us back 50 years. I mean, honestly, proving Dr. Umar Johnson correct yet again. We do deserve to be cyberbullied. Have you guys ever had to explain, like, black people shit to white people? And I don't mean, like, jazz or something. I mean, like, the embarrassing parts of our culture. I keep a few whites in my rotation because they are assets. They're valuable resources if you ever need to learn how to pitch a tent. Like, I had to explain to them what the shade room is. You know how embarrassing that was? Anybody who is unironically retweeting the shade room, they don't have a job. Have you guys ever seen a dating profile where someone will have, like, "I'm a witch" in their bio? Shut the fuck up, Linda. You're a Trader Joe's bitch that was raised in relative comfort and safety, and you wanted to be interesting, so one day you decided, you know what, I'm gonna start worshipping the moon. But all you're doing is like reading tarot cards and mixing twigs and water. Call me when you have a brujeria closet like Azalea Banks. She's my president. Say what you will about her, Azalea Banks has never drone-striked a Yemeni birthday party. Miss Banks, 1, US presidents, 0. Speaking of the whites, I wasn't even talking about them. We need to come up with a better slur. Now, the N-word, and I'm talking like hard ER, like a Mark Twain N-word. It's top tier. You are never gonna beat her, right? She's the slur star. But like cracker and honky, they're just not cutting it. I mean, every time that I hurl them at people in traffic or I whisper them underneath my breath, I just feel like a character in a 1970s blaxploitation movie. If the race war breaks out, I'm showing absolutely no loyalty. Whoever is winning, that's what I am. But thankfully enough, you know, if push comes to shove, I can slap a bindi on. If the Puerto Ricans are winning, I'm gonna be living la vida loca. Now, if the whites start winning, I'm shit out of luck. I once forgot that Canada existed. I was trying to think about the country that was right above the United States geographically, and it was just a blank void. It is shocking the sheer amount of people that have spawned from there. Like, I know Seth Rogen is not American, but to me, Canada is such a nothing country that honestly, it feels more accurate to say that he's from Sri Lanka than to say he's from Canada. I believe I can fly. I got shot by the FBI. All I wanted was some chicken wings from Southern Burger King. Yeah. I should have been a singer. Y'all remember the Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light campaign debacle? Dylan is a little too like theater kid energy for me, and as someone who is sort of emotionally dead inside, anyone who has any semblance of like life behind their eyes, I'm just exhausted. Here's why I should be the only casting director in the industry. If Bud Light wanted an ad campaign that was inclusive but also would appeal to their core demographic of men who are kind of scared to wash their ass because they think it's kind of gay, then they should have hired Caitlyn Jenner. Now, Caitlyn definitely seems like she's a white wine bitch. I feel like she would never even drink beer. Probably because she's like, beer? That's a peasant's drink. What am I, an English feudal farmer? The ad campaign should have been Caitlyn Jenner cracking one open in her country club. The kind of country club where if I walked in, they'd be like, oh, excuse me, ma'am, the employee entrance is in the back. And that's how I know I'm in the right location, is if people are looking at me like I don't belong. I'm meant to be here. And it's 2023, so I'd be like, watch it, bitch. I'll make you a f***ing hashtag on Twitter. Anyway, it should have been Caitlyn Jenner cracking one open, sitting in like a golf cart, and the first thing that comes out of her mouth should be, you know, I never really supported gay marriage. My pronouns are Smith and Wesson, and then she just like shoots one of the caddies in their kneecap. I'm telling you, Bud Light's consumer base would be like, you know what? We like this one. I always wonder what my ancestors would think of me. They'd probably stone me to death. But you know what? They might actually just be messy. Ugh, I'd be flexing my straight, non-polio infected legs on them bitches. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm thankful for all of your sacrifices. You made my life possible, but if you want to try and catch me, good luck because your kneecaps are inverted. Whatever happened to flashers? Just men in trench coats flashing people on the street. They got replaced by those men that are pushing people onto train tracks. I'll say it, flashing is a dying industry. Half of the people that I see on Twitter have to be feds. The Shade Room? CIA. I was once witness to the Zeus Network, which my best friend and I kinda used to hate watch. We're part of the problem. I am not kidding, that is some COINTELPRO BS. I don't even think I'm actually using that term correctly. But it doesn't matter because I'm feeling black and conspiratorial. I made a TikTok kinda recently that was like, you wanna talk about historically accurate Cleopatra? Make that bitch inbred. Now Cleopatra was just a white woman. She was Macedonian. She wasn't even Egyptian. That was not the aspect of the casting that always irritated me. But she also had half of a grandparent. And the cowardice in Hollywood is so palpable that they would never actually cast a homely actress to play her. Now, I exaggerated in my TikTok. I was like, make her look like a Picasso painting. I just wanted to see her under 37 mangled chromosomes in all their glory. But there are people in the comment section who were legit calling me like an SJW, which, I mean, never been called that before, but hey, you know, guess I can finally get that SJW Girl Scout badge. The internet is annoying and grotesque and hyperbolic, and it's probably radicalizing several domestic terrorist cells as I speak. But it's also like kind of fun. But then sometimes I'll see footage of a woman who clearly has like undiagnosed paranoid schizophrenia or is just on meth, and she's just yelling at a person working at the Apple bar. And I think to myself, is this sad? Is this a reflection of the deteriorating mental health and lack of resources that people in this country have? Yes. But did it make me chuckle? Also yes. And so I think, you know, maybe the internet is worth it. Y'all see this? I got this little milk blush thing. Ugh, I feel like a bougie Soho bitch. This is the kind of like makeup stick that insufferable Brooklyn women that write poetry use. I don't know how to break this to you, girl, but you are not the next rupee car. Man, I just love rambling to y'all. Did you guys have fun? Because I didn't. And finally, a little spritz. Oh. You know, it's good to know that this is my peak, you know, physically, mentally. I think that's the beautiful thing about never having been like an absolute, complete and utter knockout, is that the steady regression into looking like a bag of flour is a lot less devastating to me. Well, I guess I'm done now. If you're still here watching, God, you must be lonely. Like, comment, subscribe, go to my Patreon, stalk me on all my other social media platforms, leave me a creepy, disgusting, repulsive comment. Trust me, I'll probably read it and then like heart it and like it and maybe respond to it. Solicit me, threaten me, insult me, it doesn't really matter, honestly. Shout out to my patrons. If you would like to support me on my Patreon, then the link is in the description down below or on the screen. If you're a top patron of mine and you've been with me for like 2 years, I guess, at this point, your name should be on the screen. Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate your support. And my other lovely, delicious, decadent, probably like eczema-ridden patrons, your name should be scrolling up on screen as I speak. Thank you.